welcome back to the channel, guys. It is the next day here. It took a little bit longer than I thought to go ahead and get all these little things put back in. I had to sand down and prime and paint these radiator brackets. I had to do the fan shroud in here for the AC, and just cleaning everything up and repainting it takes a long time, and it really doesn't make a huge difference as far as like progress on what you can see, but all these little details add up over time, because I mean, this bracket here, if you saw rust on it, it's like one of the main things that stick out when you open the hood. So I wanted to make sure and get these things cleaned up as nice as I can and use those Resto Tuner bolts to finish it off. I went ahead and threw the intake in there. It's going to require me pulling it back out anyway because I want to go ahead and refinish this. I'm probably going to use some Cerakote, kind of like I did on the fuse box cover, just to try to bring back a little bit of that black color, because it's kind of gray right here from age. No big deal on that. The battery tray, I went ahead and got it put in there. I've got to find the plastic tray that sits in there before I put the battery back in. It's somewhere over here on this shelf. I got a ton of stuff, and I got a ton of bolts down here on the floor here. I got a little bolt container. I had to dump it out and try to find as clean of bolts as I had to put in here on some of these larger bolts that I didn't get from Resto Tuner for the battery tray. But before I move on, pulling the suspension off, because that's what I'm going to be doing next, there are some issues with it. I didn't want to go ahead and put the new suspension on just yet because I've got some work to do on that. I'm going to go ahead and jump over here and show you what I got in the mail. Alright, well, what I have here is a lot of products here from the Dragon Spec. Mark over at Honda Street Garage has come up with this Dragon Spec brand, kind of based on his experience down at Classic Hondas on the Dragon, at the Tail of the Dragon down in Tennessee and North Carolina. It's an awesome road. If you've never been, it's definitely worth going, and a good opportunity to go is the Classic Hondas on the Dragon meet, which is held every year in October. I'm going to try to go to that again this year. I did go last year, and I got a video on it from last October if you want to check that out. But what I have here is the Dragon Spec shift knob, keychain, got the polarized clear sunglasses, and the black one as well. He's selling these on his website to promote this brand, and as part of that initial brand launch, he's doing a giveaway, a lot of awesome prizes, some Graham lights, some JDI products, as well as a cash offering if that's what you want to do. But definitely check him out at thedragonspec.com and pick you up some merchandise and get in on this giveaway. So let's go ahead and jump back into the work. Alright, so the first things first, I'm going to show you one of the big reasons why I'm going to be redoing most of the suspension here on the car. Alright, so what you're seeing is actually the wheel bearing in here that's completely destroyed on the car. I can't believe I drove this down the road to get it registered, but it did make it luckily, and made it back here in the garage. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and pull all this front suspension off, and we'll see about getting these wheel bearings replaced, as well as the ball joints and other items that I'll get into and I'll show you soon. I've got to a good stopping point now. I went ahead and pulled the whole front end off of the car. All the front suspension and the brakes are off, and I went ahead and pulled the tie rods. Those are in bad shape, so most of this stuff I'm going to be replacing with new, but there's a couple things that I'm going to have to clean up, the spindles and the forks, and repaint those. The wheel bearings have to be swapped out in the spindles themselves. I'm probably going to take those somewhere and have it done. I don't have a press here in the garage, so I can't easily do that. So hopefully in the next video I'll have that done and be able to start putting this stuff back on the car. Also, I did not have any coolant here in the garage, and I haven't been to the store, so I wasn't able to get the coolant put in the engine and the radiator to get that thing started up. Hopefully that will be in the next video as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's been kind of dirty pulling this stuff off of here, but that's just part of the build process, and we'll see you in the next one.